The Phillies take 3 out of 4 from the Braves and bounce back after a very bad series against the Mets. Also go out and sign Walker Buehler as well. I'm Coy Camiscioli from Phillies Sports Talk here, going to break down all 4 games from the series, and we'll talk about the Walker Buehler signing and what's coming on the horizon for the Phillies. So we'll start with Game 4. Phillies lose 3-1. They fail to get the sweep. But again, you take 3 out of 4 in blood here in this series, especially with the way the divisional race is shaping out to be. Brandon Marsh hit a solo homer in the 4th to take a 1-0 lead for the Phillies. And then the Phillies were threatening in the 7th. Kyle Schwarber, a 2-out triple, but they could not bring him in. And then the Braves, they bounced in, or they got on the scoreboard in the 8th. They had the bases loaded. Matt Olson drove in a run off a fielder's choice. There's nobody out with the bases loaded originally, and they only managed to score 1 run. So you kind of thought that the Phillies had a little momentum after that. But in the bottom of the 9th, Drake Baldwin, he had a 2-run home run off Jose Alvarado. Braves take a 3-1 lead. They don't look back. Rafael Iglesias closes out the game for the Phillies, or for the Braves. So just 11 total hits in this one, just 5 for the Phillies. No Philly had multiple hits in this game. Pitching was good, other than Alvarado. Jesus Luzardo, he went 6 2/3 innings, scoreless, 2 hits. 1 walk allowed at all, or just those 3 base runners, and 7 strikeouts. So some great stuff there. Dave Robertson, he earns a hold. He only threw like a third of an inning, but he has been lights out this year. 1.17 ERA. Ryan Kirkring was the problem, along with Alvarado as well. He did not record an out, walking a couple batters and allowing a hit and a run. And then obviously Jose Alvarado came in, gave it the 2-run shot and the lead for the Braves. So tough way to end the series. It's a really bad game, but again, 3 out of 4, nothing wrong with that. So getting to Game 3 real fast. This one, the Phillies stole. 3-2 win in 10 innings. And we'll start with how it begun. Weston Wilson hit a solo shot in the 3rd, made it 1-0. Matt Olson in the 6th tied it off an RBI double at 1-1. In the bottom of the 6th, the Phillies had a runner on 3rd with 1 out, and Harper was at the plate with turn on 3rd. And a ground ball was sharply hit to Olson at first. He touched first and rifled it to home to nab Trey Turner to keep the game tied. So that was a really not good for the Phillies at all there. But in the 10th, Harper made a great diving catch with the ghost run on 2nd to lead off the inning. And a great diving catch again holds him at 2nd. That runner may have scored. Who knows? Nacho Alvarez for the Braves, he did end up driving that run in, but things could have been a lot worse in that inning. So the Braves, they go up 2-1 in the 10th, but the Phillies get the bases loaded in the bottom of the 10th, and with 2 outs, down 0-2 in the count, Trey Turner delivers with a 2-run single to win the game for the Phillies. This is a big time win, especially to win the first 3 games of the series, clinch the series win. Obviously, they could not sweep, but it's a lot better than what the split may have been looking like here after what happened in Game 4 of the set. So Trey Turner went 3 for 4 with a walk, 2 stolen bases, and 2 RBIs in this game. So an excellent game from him. Phillies only had 2 other hits as a whole in this game, and they struck out 15 times. So again, 15 times in Game 3, 13 times in Game 4. Not good stuff. Pitching-wise, Christopher Sanchez, he goes 7 innings, 1 run, 7 hits, 0 walks, 8 strikeouts. So vintage Christopher Sanchez start. Tanner Banks and John Duran both threw scoreless innings, and it was just, again, big-time clutch win for the Phillies in Game 3 of this set. So moving to Game 2, 2-1 win for the Phillies, so another low-scoring game. Jurickson Profar, he had an RBI single for the Braves in the 2nd, making it 1-0. Brandon Marsh tied it in the 4th off an RBI single, and in the 5th, Nick Castellanos made a big-time play defensively, making a catch from right field and throwing Matt Olson out at home plate, saving a run to keep the game tied at 1. And then the 8th inning, Alec Boehm hit a big-time sacrifice fly, gives the Phillies a 2-1 lead, and they would hold on. So Braves had 12 hits in this game, but they only scored 1 run. A great job of minimizing damage. Ranger Suarez, he did not have his best stuff, but he still had a good outing. 5 innings pitched, just allowing 1 run off 10 hits. So 10 hits in 5 innings, but only 1 run is pretty good to minimize damage. 1 walk, 2 strikeouts there. Dale Robertson, Matt Strom, Ryan Kirkring, and Yohan Duran all threw scoreless innings for the Phils. And offensively, Brandon Marsh and Bryce Harper, they both had 2 hits. But again, kind of a gritty 2-1 win for the Phillies. But Game 1 was the awesome one. Phillies won 19-4. This was awesome. The Kyle Schwarber 4-home run game. Nola struggled early. I thought it was going to be a long game for the Phillies. I thought they were going to lose Game 1. I thought they were going to start spiraling, especially after what just happened with the Mets. Nola even walked in a run in the 1st. He gave it 3 runs in the 1st, including a 2-run single to Michael Harris. But then Kyle Schwarber responded, and JT Realmuto as well. First of 4 homers in the 1st. This one went 450 feet. JT hit a 2-run shot to tie it at 3 in the 1st. And then Max Kepler hit a 2-run shot in the first to make it a 5-3 lead. So a 5-run first inning for the Phillies. And moving to the third, Harper hit a solo homer, making it 6-3. And to the fourth, Stott and Turner, they each drove in a run, and then Schwarber hit his second homer of the night, making it 10-3 Phillies. And then Bohm hit a 2-run double, making it 12-3. Then in the fifth, Schwarber hits his third homer, this time a 3-run shot, making it 15-3 Phillies. So obviously the game was well out of reach already. In the seventh, Schwarber hit his fourth, this time another 3-run shot, making it 18-3. So just the 21st player in MLB history to hit 4 home runs in a night, and is also the first Philly to ever record 9 RBIs in a game. So statistically, a 4-home-run game is more rare than a perfect game, which is pretty crazy stuff there from Kyle Schwarber. Unbelievable night. So pitching-wise, though, Aaron Nola, some cool stuff here. He passed Cole Hamels on the Phillies' all-time strikeout list. So interesting there. He went 6 innings pitched, allowing 4 runs off 4 hits, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts. So really just that first inning was trouble with the walks. But not a terrible start there. Turner, Harper, and Marsh each had 2 hits. And Bader and Schwarber had 4 hits. Obviously, Schwarber's 4 were homers. Bader, though, added on with 4 hits from himself. So good stuff there for the Phillies. That's a 3 out of 4 against the Braves. You can definitely live with that, especially when the Mets lose 3 out of 4 to the Marlins. So the division lead is back up to 6 games for the Phillies. The Phillies will have a 6-game road trip before hosting the Mets for 4. 3 against the Brewers starting tomorrow with an off day on Tuesday, then playing again Wednesday and Thursday, and then they'll play the Marlins Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So big set against the Brewers, seriously, and especially when we're getting ready to play the Mets again for 4, with a chance to really put this division out of reach after failing to do so last week. As for the Mets, they have the Tigers for 3 and then the Reds for 3 on the road before coming to Philly. So nothing crazy. Philly's probable starters for the series against the Brewers: Taijuan Walker versus Jacob Misiorowski, Game 1. Aaron Nola versus Jose Quintana, Game 2. Ranger Suarez versus Freddie Peralta, Game 3. So we'll see what happens. But that's about it from this past series. We'll get into the Walker Buehler signing real fast. Nothing crazy. He is expected to start soon, join into a 6-man rotation if all works out with him. But if it doesn't, I have to imagine it might not last as a 6-man rotation. I'm sure the Phillies want to keep their guys healthy, especially with Wheeler obviously out for the rest of the year. Buehler, 7-7 with a 5.45 ERA this year, not good at all. Started 22 games, so he had a long leash with the Red Sox before they ultimately released him. It just didn't work out. He allowed 120 hits in 112 innings. Not very good. I don't think this changes anything, but at the same time, he closed out the World Series last year for the Dodgers, so you never know. I do like the move to getting Buehler, though. It can't hurt unless it hurts for one game, and then you decide to move into the bullpen or whatever may happen. But we'll have to see. Maybe Buehler gets a little bit of an edge with the Phillies and starts to heat up a little bit. Who knows? So, but yeah, that's going to do it. So I'll have a Phillies-Brewers series recap out in the middle of the week, and then Phillies-Marlins series recap out at the end of the week before the Phillies host the Mets for 4 at the Bank, which is obviously a big-time series. So the Phillies will start to look to try and get the division up from 6-game lead to hopefully over double digits within the next week and a half. But that's going to do it. Thank you guys for listening.